Hello, welcome to June 20th, 2022. I'm Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation. Um, Not so daily, publicly at least, last week or two, but it's been about a week and 3 days. Where did I go? I didn't I didn't say that I was going to go anywhere because I didn't intend to. Well, about a week ago, 2 Fridays back, my wife Yumiko and I went on a vacation to Las Vegas. We had planned to be back the following Monday, and I had the Tuesday off as well. And I had intended to do this through that whole time. In fact, I did it the Friday morning. That was the last one of these. But then some things happened in Vegas. We had to cut our trip short. And I ended up putting this whole thing on hiatus, at least publicly, until today, which has been a week and, Monday, Tuesday, but a week and 3 days, so 10 days off. What happened was, on Saturday, which I didn't do the good life on Saturday, so I really guess I went into this whole thing not thinking about it. I did the meditation, I did it in my head, as I did almost every day throughout this whole process, but I just didn't do it publicly, and I certainly didn't do it I didn't do it out loud, and I didn't do it on camera. What happened was that on Saturday, Yumiko and I, well, let me just preface. For about last 6 months, I've been experiencing some pain in my groin region. And I did go see a doctor and get it checked out. But I had mistakenly attributed the pain to one part of my body, which is the part that they checked out, which is not where the pain apparently was originating from. And I've since learned that that's a common thing, that the pain in this thing, it's kind of like sometimes you have back pain, but your back pain can appear in other parts of your body because it affects nerves that affect elsewhere. Somehow this does the same thing, although it doesn't affect the back. So I knew about the pain, and I had a way to address it. It's a pain in my, it's a pain somewhere else, but then if I press on my gut about my belt line, I found that I could make the pain go away. I discovered that while walking my dogs. Anyway, I walk about 5 miles a day. And on Saturday, Yumiko and I were in Vegas. We stayed at the Palms Hotel. And we had spent Saturday, when we arrived Friday night, we spent Saturday walking the strip, hotel after hotel, literally the whole day. We put in about 10 miles of walking. We had a good time. We went to a lot of good restaurants. But at the end of the 10 miles, when we were getting ready to go back to our hotel, I went to apply my pressure to relieve my pain, and I pressed in, and what did I feel but a big lump. It turns out like a ball, like a little smaller than a golf ball. Well, that caused a series of things. Of course, I didn't know what it was, but I jumped to an immediate idea, which is that it might have been a tumor of some sort that I had discovered. And I don't know exactly what my prostate was, but I thought, oh crap, it's prostate cancer. And it's big. And when was my last prostate exam? And I didn't know that they don't, I do regular medical checkups, but I didn't know that they don't do the finger up the rear anymore for prostate exams. They do it from the blood work. I thought, man, I can't remember the last time I did a prostate exam. Oh my gosh. So worst case scenarios went through my mind, of course, and I thought, crap, I've got cancer. And it's nighttime on a Saturday, there's nothing I can do. That was a pretty miserable Saturday night into Sunday morning. Well, seeing my life literally flash before my eyes. So much for being ready to die, huh? Which is my second objective. I mean, I'm still ready to die in terms of my life affairs are in as best order as I can make them almost. My relationships are good, and my life's work is complete. But still, there's something more immediate to thinking you might actually be on, Dora's death step, or the doorstep of death, than actually just, academically considering it. Namely, the main question was the good use of time. Am I using my time well? Which precipitates into some actions or some lack of actions thereafter. Anyway, so pretty bad night, and I got on the phone with the doctor on Sunday, and she said that she thought it sounded like a hernia, but that I better have it checked out. For two reasons. One, she said that hernias can become what she calls incarcerated. They become trapped, and that's a very dangerous thing. She wanted to make sure that wasn't the case, especially as hard as it was, and painful. And two, she said she wanted to have it checked to make sure it wasn't in fact cancer. She disagreed with my diagnosis. Thank you, doctor. But she wanted to have it checked out nonetheless. So we went home. We came home on Sunday, very disappointed that our vacation was cut short. All our nice restaurant reservations for naught. Very disappointing. We came home Saturday night, actually. Oh, we came home Sunday, that's right. How did that work out? Friday night, slept into Saturday. That's right. We only stayed one night. So we did all that on Friday night. That's right, we did all that walking on Friday night. Friday afternoon and evening. And then came home straight away on Saturday. Even more disappointing. Emiko and I were both pretty, down about the whole thing. Of course, concerned about the medical stuff, but also disappointed that our vacation fell short. Anyway, for Sunday then, the doctor made an appointment. A nurse called me back on Sunday, and I was able to make an appointment for Monday. We had Sunday free, so we went to Idlewild. We drove up there, and we had a great time in Idlewild. That was a lot of fun. Saw a movie, went to all the little shops, met interesting people, had good food. Really nice. A little mountain community about an hour away. After that, then I went to see the doctor on Monday. They confirmed they gave me a true proper exam. They confirmed it is indeed a hernia, and I'm on schedule for tomorrow, Tuesday, the 21st. I'll have a pre-surgical exam, so it looks like I'm going to get surgery on this. Pretty disappointing way things went. So did I continue doing my good life meditation? Well, I didn't do it like this, but I almost every day I did it out. I did it, in my head. I think I missed 2 days outright. Just was distracted and didn't think. It's interesting how a little upset to the routine so much can fall to pieces. Also, but the other thing that happened was that scare, thinking for a night and half a day that I might have cancer, caused me to wonder about my good use of time. And I took aim at something, particularly my use of social media, which I went back and forth over the course of the last 10 days between thinking I need to stop doing that or seriously curtail that, which I already seriously curtail, except on the public side, on the Kurt Bell side. But the Softy Papa side, I still post a lot there about my reading, mostly my reading adventures. But I kind of stopped it all, including this. And I'll have to say that I was kind of seeking a little bit over the last 10 days to find some footing in that post-scare world. Yeah, it's a pretty sobering thing to anticipate, even though death isn't actually, at least not from the cancer at my door that I know of yet. Just the thought of it. So anyway, I'm still working on that, but I decided to do that this morning, and I think I'll do it tomorrow morning. Do this again this morning, and I think I'll do it again tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's do it. The Good Life Meditation. My 7 objectives and 30 principles. First, I look at yesterday and decide how I think about how I did with the challenges. It was a so-so day, kind of a melancholy day. This whole thing kind of shook me up a little bit. A lot, in fact. It's interesting how I can think I've got things so settled, figured out, find it, and then find I don't. I did a pretty good job handling the challenges. Even when I went to a nice restaurant yesterday, and there was one thing that I wish I'd kept a little more self-control. We were trying to get a table, and there was an outside table, and the guy said he didn't have any outside tables, he just had an inside table, and I'd seen the people just get up and leave. I said, how about that one? He said, okay. And while he said, oh, get someone to clear it. And while he went to do that, I noticed a woman come back, and she had a drink at the table, start to drink the drink, and I thought, oh crap, they didn't leave. So I went through this really convoluted thing of trying to get the maitre d's attention. I think that's what he was. And the waiter's attention, saying, don't clear the table, because he'd sent somebody over to bust the table. There's still people there, because she had stepped away again. I thought, oh crap, they're coming back. They just walked away. In fact, they had left. In fact, it was just fine. In fact, we got that table. I didn't need to get fussy about it. And I wasn't mean or rude or anything. I just was overly engaged and involved, and I should have just accepted whatever the hell table they wanted to offer us, inside or outside. Okay, the good life. 7 objectives and 30 principles as follows. Number 1 is first objective is to be always ready to die. Good luck with that. To have all my life affairs in order, my relationships, and my life's work. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of time. To not waste my time. Let it flitter away. Again, something I need to work on, clearly. 3, the development and maintenance of good and sound life principles. Next is the cultivation of good emotional reactions, and then the performance of good actions, and then the recognition of my true limits and my true opportunities, and then the performance of just doing one thing at a time, and doing things slowly and deliberately. Oh, the other thing that was struggling with this week was this guy. He seemed a little bit sick. It's like something was wrong with him, and I got a vet appointment for him, but he seems to be doing a lot better. So I'm still going to take him to the vet. So it had me worried. Okay, now my 30 principles are as follows, and I'm going to let myself do the lightning round this morning. Number 1 is the principle of war, to always be fighting against what I think is true. 2, the principle of reason, and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, doubt, and what's the other one? There's a new one there. I can't remember. So you drop off the routine curve for just a little while. You start to forget. 3 is the Homunculus, the reminder that I don't have a soul, but I do have a little consciousness. And then the Anchorhold, the consciousness is going to go down with me when I die. And then purpose, the home of good and evil. The suggestion that free will is an illusion, that right and wrong are subjective ideas that we hold in our minds, develop and hold. And then purpose. My purpose, 3 of them are to be a good husband and father, a dad, successfully raise my kid into adulthood, and then be a virtuous human being, where virtue is defined as the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures. And then to share the message and story and message of my book, Going Alone. Available on Amazon and at goingalone.org. And next comes the atomic principle. Everything is made of bits and pieces. And then the principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature, and it's good to recognize what that is. And then the pirate ride, the suggestion that free will is an illusion. And then maturity, and the sub-principles of wisdom and fortitude. And then the social principle. We're social creatures, we need each other. And then public speaking, the reminder to use few words, deliberate words, and carefully choose my words. And to never gossip. And then I think temperance is next. Temperance, and the sub-principles of suffering, simplicity, and apathy. And then the principle called that which must be borne, carried. And what we have to carry is the fact of our responsibilities that we choose to take on. And then also the fact of the horror show, which I forgot, which is just before that one. The horror show is a reminder that life is chock full of terror, like my thinking that I might have cancer. It's a pretty scary thing. And then that stuff actually happens. People actually do get cancer and do have to bear that. That's what they have to bear. And we also have to bear the responsibilities that we take on in life. And then the Feast of Offal, a reminder to not let my upset flow out into the world or to consume it when other people are getting upset around me. Like yesterday, coming back from the mountain, there were at least 4 people that were just like so crazy drivers behind me, got on that mountain road. And I always have a point that I always pull over at the earliest opportunity, safe opportunity to do so. But even that's not enough for them. They just ride your butt. That's the Feast of Offal on their part. And my not consuming it means that I'm not going to engage them. I'm not going to slow down to upset them. And I will use my signal ahead of time and turn out into a turnout at the first earliest and safest convenient opportunity. Okay, next comes distraction and agency in the great indifference. We distract ourselves through life so we don't have to see the fact that the world seems to be indifferent to our life and our suffering and our loves and our worries and everything else. We've just got each other. We're pretty much on our own. Then comes the best seat in the house, a reminder to not want to be anyone else or be anything else or be doing anything else. Then the Path of Wildness, which is a way to move forward and through up into new life, from one life to another. And I talked a lot about that over the weekend, over the last week. We both think that, we both agree that that's kind of our modus operandi, building one life after another. Getting tired though, but I don't think we're going to settle down anytime soon. Okay, next comes the risk of avoiding risk. There's the surface level risk of life and the deep risk. The surface level risk is not attending to education and career and family and home and security. And the deep risk is not attending to whatever calling we may hear to live our own life, to discover ourselves and to make our personalities and our individuality. Next comes sin and damnation. The sins in my life are 7. Falsity, being untrue. Credulity, believing things too readily. Faith, belief founded on belief. Superstition, a nonsense category of belief. Authority, believing things because someone in a position of authority says it's true. Dogma, believing because it's the tradition, the blessed way, and look at how many others believe. And then 7 is, there you go. 7 is gossip. talking about others behind their back in a way that we would be embarrassed that they knew if they found out. We know when we're doing that. Engage in any of those things, and we kind of suffer a type of damnation in the here and now. Next comes complete oblivion, the suggestion that after death there's no chance, since we don't have a soul, there's no God and no afterlife. We're not going to see our loved ones again. We'll never have a chance to reunite or reconcile our differences. And there'll be no final justice. Next comes the great life adventure, one or more experiences that help to form the nucleus of our character and personality. Next is the season of philosophy, which is a time to record what we've learned along the way. Then the bullseye aim, we strive for the mark and usually miss. And then the uphill climb, a steady upward trudge. And then uphill climb, arena and utility. Life is an arena to collect good principles to use like as utilities, as tools along the way. And then nothing is enough, a reminder that even though temperance is good, abstinence in some cases, or near abstinence, may be even better, or at least an interesting goal. There's lots to come from less and less. And then finally, the principle of fun, a reminder to have a good time, strive to at least, to enjoy the moment of now, to look forward to anticipate the future, and to enjoy the recollection of the past, well lived, or even poorly lived, and the better people that we can become as a result of reflecting on how we can do better in the future. Oh man, I'm exhausted. I'm out of practice, and it's a Monday. Okay, let's talk about the challenge of the day. The biggest challenge right now is just the fact that I'm just worn out. I'm 58, and I'm just done. I'm ready to hang it up. I know that's earlier than most. I know, society expects at least a good 62 years out of us before we hang it up. But I'll do it. At least another 2.5 years, and then I can retire. Then I can, retreat back. Sounds good. And I'll just push through the day. It's a Monday. I don't have too many meetings, but I do have a lot to do. And I'll just do it. That's it. That's my good life meditation for today. I appreciate the opportunity to do this. Sorry that I'm a little bit, flustered and worn and just beat up today. Doesn't feel like a good day. But I'll get into it. I've a couple more hours and my work day will start. And, and a half hour, an hour into it, I'll feel better. I always do. This is the low tide part of the day, or the high tide, depending on how you look at it. If I'm on the Anchorhold, that rock sticking out of the sea, it's the high tide that's scary. Sometimes the day feels like low tide too. Okay, that's it. Have a good day. Be safe, but not too safe.